Good morning, class. This is Dr. Karuna Deshmukh from the Department of English of Bahirji Smarak Mahavidyalaya, which is affiliated to Swami Ramananda Tirth Marathwada University, Nanded. I welcome all of you for your third semester optional English class, and here we are going to study the sixth paper for the third semester, and the title of this paper is American Literature. Here are the objectives: to address the works of several major writers from the American literary tradition. There are, as far as the study of English literature is concerned, there are various traditions like the British tradition, like the American tradition, like Indian writing in English, like African literature. So there are various nationalities, and now literature has gone national. Literature, there are various nuances, there are various differences, there are various different aspects of the literature belonging to various nations, various countries, various cultures. So here in this class, in this course, we are going to study major writers from America, that is the American literary tradition. The second objective is to introduce the landmarks in American literature in various literary genres. Literary genres, types of literature, whether it is poetry or drama or novel or short story is there, or essays are there, or biographies are there, or autobiographies are there. Landmarks, the major happenings, the significant works of arts which are produced from time to time. So these are known as the landmarks, right? These are the great events that happen in the history of American literature. So here is a paper to introduce the learners to these great literary events as far as American literature is concerned. The third objective is to impart an in-depth understanding of writings with dominant debates of the period, like religious, social, philosophical, political, and aesthetic aspects of American literary traditions. There are some dominant debates. Debates, the arguments, that is when there are some thoughts, there are some other thoughts that counter or that oppose this first thought. So this is the debate. It might be the religious debate, it might be the social debate, it may be the philosophical debate, political debate, aesthetic aspects of American literary tradition. So literature is not indifferent to whatever is going on in life. In fact, literature is the reflection of life. What happens in life is reflected in literature. So here is an opportunity with the help of this paper for the learners to understand all these debates, all these major happenings as far as the development of America as a nation is concerned. The intended outcomes, what will be our achievement, what will be the learners' achievement. The learners will gain an overall insight of the American literature and understand the background historical context, because in order to understand any text, we have to study the co-text, that is the context, the background, the historical time, the historical situation, the social political situation of that particular period in which the writer, particularly a writer, is born and brought up. So here is an opportunity for us to understand the historical context, the political background, and so on of American literature and its role in the development of the nation, that is America, is concerned. The second outcome will be the learners will identify, explicate, and respond to key themes and elements in American literature in various literary genres. Here is an opportunity, and the achievement will be to understand, to know various literary genres and how they developed in the context of American literature is concerned, in the context of American nation is concerned. The third is students will be enabled to review and recognize the body of literary works from America and will be able to understand the American spirit as well as to analyze various literary innovations and their culture. Literature is the best way to understand a culture because literature reflects all those traditions, all those cultural aspects of a particular nation. So, here is an opportunity for all of us to understand what is known as the American spirit. There are, as far as the syllabus units are concerned, there are 5 modules or units, and the first one is introduction, the brief history of American literature. So, in this unit, we will try to trace the history, to study the history of American literature. The second unit is of poetry, and there are 2 poems that we are going to study. The first one is by Walt Whitman, the great American poet. Song of the Road is the title of Walt Whitman's poem. Then there are, in the second unit of the poetry section, there are 2 poems by a great Afro-American poet, a black American poet, that is Langston Hughes. And the first poem by Langston Hughes that we are going to study is I Too. And the second poem is The Negro Speaks of Rivers. So this is an opportunity for all of us to study the spirit of black American people, the black Renaissance, as far as the literature of the Afro-American people are concerned. Then the third module is of fiction, and here we are going to study 2 short stories. First one is by Jack London, and the title of his short story is To Build a Fire. The second short story is by Mark Twain, and the title is The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. Then the prose section is also there as far as the 4th module is concerned, and there we are going to study an essay by the great American transcendentalist Ralph Waldo Emerson, and the title of his essay is The American Scholar. And the last module is drama, and here we will study a great dramatist and his drama All My Sons. And the dramatist we are going to study is Arthur Miller, the great American dramatist. So here is a paper on American literature, right? So tomorrow onwards we will discuss in brief the writers that are prescribed for our syllabus. Thank you.